welcome to another episode of Insufficient Friends. I'm Kevin. She's Nikki.
Hi.
And Nick, this week we have friends joining us again. Nathan and Karsh are back with us to talk more conspiracy theories because that's like 75% of what we do on this podcast. And this week we are talking about Area 51. But first, Nick, what happened this week, or today, I guess, in history?
Yeah. So this day in history, the U.S. hockey team beats the Soviets in the Miracle on Ice.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So that's timely and relevant, which is something we
Exactly.
never are. And then another thing that happened on this day in history that was just really interesting, because Nathan, you might remember Mom singing this song to us. The first Grammy Award in rap went to DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Oh, nice.
Jeff Townsend and Will Smith for
Yeah.
Parents Just Don't Understand.
Interesting.
Do you remember that song?
I don't remember that
and
one.
I cannot picture Mom singing anything.
No, well, she thought she was really cool,
Yeah.
naturally, and would sing this, but she only knew like 10 words of the whole entire song.
Well, you said Mom and rap, so I think 10
Yeah.
is the limit.
That's an interesting one, yeah.
10 is the bar.
Going back to the Miracle on Ice, we are in the middle of the Winter Olympics right now, and the women hockey team just won gold against Canada. We're recording this on Friday, so that was yesterday. So, you know, the U.S. is, I think, in second, last I checked, for total overall medals. But we're, again, recording this on Friday, so I do have something for Friday. In 1962, on Friday, the 20th of February, John Glenn became the first American to orbit the Earth. So, and that kind of has a little bit to do with the whole space, aliens, Area 51, whole kind of
You
thing.
tied that in well.
Yeah, exactly. So, today, like I said, we're talking about Area 51 and the conspiracy theories around that. So, lots of conspiracy theories, and it's timely. One, again, we were talking about this before we started, that this is like the third or fourth time that we've ever been timely with one of our episodes. Usually we're just talking about something random, but in the last 3 days, or I guess last week, former President Obama was on a podcast and talked about Area 51.
Yes.
Right, Nick? What did he?
Yes,
he said something about.
He was on a podcast and they were doing rapid fire questions. And he said that the host asked if he believed in aliens, or are aliens real. And he said they're real, but I haven't seen him. And then he said they're not being kept in Area 51. There's no underground facility unless there's an enormous conspiracy that's also hidden from the president.
Yeah.
And then he later clarified on social media that he has not seen aliens. He just believes that statistically they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think that prompted Trump to release some other files or request to release.
Yesterday when we're recording this, yesterday he posted on social media that he's going to ask the Pentagon and all other groups to release any files related to UFOs and anything, and he also accused Obama of releasing classified information. So there's a whole thing with that. But anyway, so we are a little bit timely, but so I don't know.
So we'll see some heavily redacted
you'll
Area
see
51 documentation in 7 months.
You'll see in 10 months or a year or whatever, you will see 80 to 100,000 pages of papers that are basically one word and then 50 black lines on it, and that'll be what each page is.
At least they've been actually redacting things now versus before. It's like they put like black highlighter over it, but you could still copy and paste the real words. Nathan and I were cracking up about how you could still read all of the files when they first released it.
This is just perfect because some topics I'm going to talk about, like it just perfectly kind of matches a pattern about which happens after a certain amount of years that just kicks up.
So that's one of the things that gets me is our government is so incompetent, they'll release the Epstein files in a manner in which people can take away the classified black boxes that cover the words.
Yep.
But we think they can hide the secrets of a secret ancient advanced civilization or an alien race from the population for 100 years. It's like the irony, the juxtaposition between not being able to bobble one thing and bobbling the other one perfectly for 100 years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but anyway, Area 51. If you're not familiar with what it actually is, it is a military installation at Nellis Air Force Base at Groom Lake in Nevada. It was first started to be looked at by the CIA in April of 1955 as a testing ground for the U-2 spy plane, which is a high flying surveillance plane. They started using it in July of that year to test the plane. It has been used for other testing facilities since then, but it is a highly secretive testing facility, and the U.S. didn't actually formally acknowledge that it existed until 2013. So from 1955 to 2013, they didn't even say that it existed. It is just got a massive runway and a couple little buildings in the middle of nowhere. So there's really not, if you look at, you can see it on satellite images. It's just like a dried up lake bed, like a 2-mile long runway or something like that, and then just a couple little metal buildings out in the middle of the desert, and that's about it, which is why a bunch of people have theories about it having massive underground bunkers and all kinds of stuff like that. So, you know, there's really no telling what's out there because it's so heavily fortified and guarded that you can't get within, you know, a mile and a half of the actual, like, runway and stuff. But anyway, there's a lot of conspiracy theories about what's out there, and I'm sure Nathan and Karsh have a ton of stuff that they want to talk about when it comes to that, don't they? Which one of you guys wants to go first?
I think it was unofficially, wasn't it Hillary Clinton on a talk show that unofficially revealed Area 51?
That sounds right.
Obama came out at a press release and said something about it as well.
Yeah, Obama said something about it. I know when he was talking about something. It's possible that Hillary said something about it too. That's very possible. So,
Karsh, you want to kick us off?
Sure. I was going to talk about something what happened in July of 1947 in New Mexico desert. This is a guy. He was a rancher. He found debris scattered around on his land, and then he called the sheriff. It's like, hey, found some items here, and there was a news that they said that there was a flying disc they found which crashed, and then that statement was taken back, and then they said it was just a weather balloon. So what really happened, and this theory, if you don't know, or this happened in the past, which is known as the Roswell incident, and then gonna talk and link that to the Project Blue Book, and then I also will link because it was the time of the Cold War itself. So starting with the Roswell incident in New Mexico, this rancher, he found a couple of debris scattered around his land, and he was like, it's rubber strips, foil-like. It has strange and odd like patterns and symbols on that. And then he called the sheriff. Sheriff came, and then so they initially phrased it as a flying disc. And after that, the case was closed, and they just said it was just a weather balloon. Then there's nothing there. Decades later, in 1990s, it opened back up, and then they said the debris came from like Project Mogul, which was a program for the nuclear surveillance around that time, and they didn't want to release that, which I'll touch base more later on when I talk about Project Blue Book, because if they kind of told us a simpler story, and that's kind of when the doubt begins, like a story changes quickly, kind of weakens the trust. So around that time, 1947, World War II has just ended, and the atomic bomb changed the whole humanity forever. little tense standoff about like the global politics around that time and everything as well. And CIA was created in 1947, the same month of Roswell. Um,
Oh wow,
I
mhm,
didn't know that.
I I didn't
right.
either.
Yeah, and then it was like the nuclear anxiety everywhere because of the war situation. It was like the world was on the edge. It's like 1947, like we weren't afraid of the aliens. We were like afraid of like what's gonna happen kind of deal.
Gotcha.
So yeah, yeah, everyone's like scared and the world on the edge, right? Um, so after a few years after that, 1952 was when the Project Blue Book was created, and this program was created about there were so many UFO sightings around that time, and there was a national like security threat. Like, are we really is if aliens and UFOs is a threat for us for the humanity? That program was open for 17 years, and there were around 12 to 13,000 cases. Uh, there was the official conclusion was no evidence of extraterrestrial crafts, um, no UFOs uh, as a threat to the national security, and all the sightings were kind of explained as weather balloons or aircrafts and like weather phenomena kind of deal. Um, Around 600 or 700 cases, they were kind of unidentified, and unidentified meaning like not like we just don't have enough data. That's how they were like kind of closed as there's like no alien bodies were kind of found or were like hidden in hangars or anything. Per that program. So
Just a random
uh
random comment, like, oh,
yeah,
they didn't
yeah.
find any alien
And
bodies just
any
hidden in a
aliens.
hangar.
Right, right. And then there were like official like explanations about like this all this lingering mystery and stuff. Um Also between that time period, like after like 30 years of that, there was like distrust in like government institutions because like the change in official statements. Roswell didn't change, but the culture changed. The trust declined. Less people believe like in the official like narratives, and also in the culture, the movies, the ET and the sci-fi kind of grew on that time period as well. Um, Jumping onto uh modern times right now, they created new offices, and there's like still unidentified, not enough data, non-extraterrestrial. It's just unknown. There's no data to prove. There were around like 60 cases. There's like 60 people giving their statements around that time when this Roswell incident took place, but it was like 30 years after. So again, talking about like we're talking about right now, we're like around 80 years from that time and against opened up, like
Mhm.
we had Navy release some videos about this aircraft and everything. So, um, again, I don't know the specific details, but it kind of makes sense. Like around that Cold War time, and when this happened, there were, as you said, Kevin, the U-2 planes, the spy planes, and the nuclear um, uh, programs which we had ongoing. We did not want to disclose what we were doing. What was really going on, because if we kind of publish the data, it would kind of put us on a high risk, like what was kind of going on.
Hmm.
So what really about like Roswell, right? There's may not be proof of like alien life. People might have seen there were some pilots who really saw that. There were some scientists who really saw these creatures getting put into trucks, driven to somewhere. And There were some conversations which happened over the radios, like little bodies, gray bodies, large eyes, not humans. Just uh, it's not clear. So kind of puts us to the positions, like what to believe, what not to. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the weirdest thing about a lot of this is that we've talked about UFOs on here before, and
Right.
I think, I don't remember if we showed the video or if we just had like put a link to it, but one of the most famous videos is, I don't remember exactly what it's called, but the pill, which is you see there's a couple of them videos when they did the UFO investigations the Pentagon did a couple years ago, where you see just like the little like dot flying across the screen, and there's been so many pilots and things who have seen objects moving and caught them on video, which is not like, it's not something that you normally see. So you can't just dismiss, I don't think, that many
sightings or
and
that many
claims from people that are like, you can't just put them all off as being insane.
Oh,
like,
it's just a weather balloon. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of weather balloons, because Karsh, while you were saying, that's like the most common explanation or excuse that's given. I did look up how fast weather balloons can actually travel and how many are released a day. Now, this is modern day NASA. I don't know what it was in 1947 and 48, but 800 to 1600 balloons are launched globally every 12 hours. So that's a lot. That's all around the world.
I didn't expect that to be that high.
Yeah, and nowadays they can travel fast. I don't know what it was back then, but nowadays, this is from NASA, it says they move very fast vertically, 1,000 feet per minute, which is only about 12 miles per hour. But if they get caught in a jet stream, they can go horizontally 200 miles per hour. So it still doesn't explain. But they do move fast, which was interesting to me.
Yeah.
But one of the other conspiracies I've heard about, of course, you mentioned like the radio chatter, gray bodies, large eyes, things like that. So one of the things that you need to watch X-Files, because it's 100% true and accurate and based on real events, and definitely not just a fun TV show. But one of the things they explore as like a main plot line is that it's less of this big government cover up of alien life and more so experiments on people,
on humans.
Like medical experiments, which has documented to happen. Like the government will test and have throughout the 18 and 1900s. There's documented horrible medical testing run by the government. So that's one more of the plot lines that they kind of explore, is people see creatures and they're actually just like horribly disfigured or colored or mutated humans almost, which was interesting to me, but also it's just a TV show. So
Yeah.
I mean, it is a good show. It is also just a good show. So
yeah.
Whenever I hear anything Roswell, I try and put, because it was a rancher who found the wreckage. Yeah, I was muted, Kevin. It was a rancher who found the wreckage, and I try and put myself in the shoes of a rancher, okay? Because we talked about it. I'm pretty sure we talked about this on the last podcast that Karsh and I were on, about how much in the last 100 years compared to the last 100,000 years, how much we have advanced.
Right.
Okay, so you're a small town rancher in Nevada, and you see this wreckage, and it's not that it's alien to us, to humans, it's that it's alien to this rancher who's never seen anything but an old square-bodied Ford or Chevy and then horse-drawn carts and buggies. So it's not necessarily that it's extraterrestrial to us as civilization, it's extraterrestrial to this rancher, because at that point in time, our progress really was kicked off based off foreign competition on the brink of war.
Yeah.
Like that's when we started doing those tests, and they did them in Nevada. And then this small town rancher finds this wreckage, and it's extraterrestrial to him, not extraterrestrial to humans.
Oh yeah. I mean, one of my arguments has always been, and I don't know exactly how the timelines line up with this, so don't come yelling at me in the comments, but, if you want to comment, but whatever, is that, at some point we had to test the B-2 bombers, which look like an alien spacecraft today.
Yep.
And they're 60, 70 years old now. Like, can you imagine if they look like an alien spacecraft today, so can you imagine seeing that fly over when they were testing it 80, 90 years ago when it was first being tested?
Right.
Nobody would have had any clue, because it wouldn't have looked anything like a plane back then, because it still doesn't look like a plane now.
Yeah,
Right.
and I think that probably explains a lot of like what Nathan says, what normal
Yeah.
people see.
Yeah.
But then you still have the pilots, their accounts, scientists, their accounts. Those are the ones that are more not
Yeah.
more interesting, more plausible. I don't know what you would call
Yeah.
it, but yeah.
When it comes to that kind of stuff, I agree. With the Roswell thing, I think it is. I think it was just. I think the Roswell thing was just something that we were testing that crashed, and it was just something like that. I don't know that it was because I don't know why. If it was an alien spacecraft that crashed in Roswell, why is it the only one we have ever heard about crashing? Because I've never heard any other reports of an alien spacecraft crashing. That's the only one I've ever heard about.
No.
It's the only one you ever hear about. So,
And maybe there are, and
I
I just don't know of any others. But
what if
yeah, I don't
what
know.
if yeah,
But
what if we were at that time we were testing the atomic bombs. What if they were there to see that? It's a massive change in like a humanity, or a big step. Like it could really end the whole world if it goes wrong.
well, I
So,
mean, yes,
like so
yes, to a certain extent, but 47 was. I mean, we dropped the first atomic bomb in 5 years. 5 years before that, in the early 40s. So we had tested the atomic bomb years before that. So,
yes.
I mean,
yeah.
I would think they would have been there a while
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying.
Also, I just can't imagine an alien race really caring about us that much.
Well, it's
I
so
think it's Go ahead, Nate. Sorry.
the comparison is how we study primates or like other
Yeah.
animals in the animal kingdom, wildlife
Yeah.
biology. Like it'd be the same fascination.
Yeah.
It'd be like a civilization that has reached that, not the peak. No one, I mean, no one will ever reach the peak, but a civilization who has reached that milestone, looking at another civilization who is however many thousands or millions of years behind them,
Yeah.
studying them.
Yeah.
That'd be
Right.
the fascination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a good point. I didn't think about
Mhm.
it like that because we get so worked up of teaching, primates sign language and things like that. And it is really interesting. So I didn't think about like that's their version or
Yeah.
that could be a version. Yeah.
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 There's
Just
actually
like
fun fact. There's a picture going around of a chimp spearfishing from a tree in a river, and it's not like a trained chimpanzee; it's a wild chimpanzee. So people are saying that primates have entered the Stone Age because they are now spearfishing like humans used to do.
That's interesting.
Sorry,
That is
Karsh.
interesting.
That is
actually.
interesting.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, look it
Um,
up. It's cool. Sorry,
yeah.
Karsh. I keep interrupting.
No, no, you're good. No, I was you just stole my thought. That was exactly what I was gonna say.
What about this spearfishing?
No, not the spear
Oh,
fishing, but the what if like they're just looking onto us like where we are at the point like how we are growing, just studying us, without
yeah.
interfering, kind of deal, like how we do
Mhm.
with like other primitive or like other like animal wildlife and everything. It's like just give them their zone, let them grow, but just
Oh, I have a
monitor.
question.
Yeah.
If you guys, it's kind of a dumb question, but I've thought about this. If you guys like could meet an alien life form
Mm-hmm.
and they understood like we understood each other
Yeah.
and they asked you to show them like three things of culture right now, what would you show them? Because I know what mine would be. I would show them Jersey Shore because I feel like that's an amazing description of uh, culture,
Okay.
at least in the last 100 years,
Okay.
or not 100 years, like 20 years. Um, and then the pink Razor flip phone because I feel like that was right on the verge of, we went from having like wall phones in bags and in cars, like massive things, to slowly getting a little better. And then that was like right before the smartphone.
Yeah.
That pink Razor flip phone.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can't remember what my third one was. I was thinking about this the other day, but what would you guys show like as our culture and technology?
I'd definitely start off with probably the Island Boys, off TikTok, and then I don't know.
Like, what would you show as a development of technology? Would you go like iPhone, or would you go like something older?
Oh, it has to be like a development of technology to show
Well, just
our
like if that was
advancements?
one of your things. Yeah.
I would just take him to the pyramids and ask him how we build them.
Oh,
That's good.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Or yeah, you could even ask, how would you build these if given the
Yeah.
opportunity? And that could be the answer.
Yeah, he could be like, "Oh, we built it."
I think, if I could ask them any questions, I have two questions I would ask. A, did you kidnap Amelia Earhart? And then B, do you know what really happened to Princess Diana? Like from the outside looking in.
I would bring them.
Yeah.
Do you have a conspiracy theory about Princess Diana? I'm pretty sure she just.
Me?
I mean, yeah, she died in a car crash.
Oh, I have several.
Oh, okay.
I don't know which one
Oh,
is
geez.
more plausible, but okay, well, maybe that needs to be another episode now.
Here's your next episode, Kev.
Okay, I guess I mean, I'm pretty sure she just died in a car crash, but I mean,
Oh, hell no. No, she did not just die in a car crash.
okay. I guess we need to do an episode on this because I mean, I know she was chased by the paparazzi, but you know.
I'm adding it. So next week we were going to talk about brain rot. We are now talking about Princess Diana.
Okay, I guess we were talking about Princess Diana next week. Okay, well, interesting.
Karsh, do you know who Princess Diana is?
I did not.
Me neither.
Okay. So the father of Prince Harry and Prince, what's his name?
William. Prince
William.
Okay.
Yes.
Former.
Is that the
So
one that just got arrested?
First, no, that's Prince
No.
Andrew, or former Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
She is the first. She was the first wife of. Well, yeah, first wife of current King Charles.
yes.
Okay.
So current King Charles, who is married to now Camilla. This was his first wife.
Yep.
She died tragically. She did die in a car accident. I'm
Yes.
not debating
She was.
that.
She was being
But-
chased by the paparazzi, and
There were lots of conspiracies around, was it staged or not, or like planned or not,
Oh.
because the crown wanted to get rid of her. So anyways, there's a lot of them, but she was
okay. Yes.
late 90s was when this happened.
Yeah, 96, I think. Yeah, 96,
Yeah, right before I was
believe.
born, I think.
Yeah. So mid to late 90s. Yeah, she
Mhm.
died in a car crash because they were being chased through London by the paparazzi, and they crashed, and she died unfortunately. And yes, she is the first wife of King Charles, and now they got divorced. They didn't like. It's not that he got remarried after they died. They got divorced before she died, but she was the mother to his two kids, who are the two princes.
Now the next
in line
to the
for
crown.
throne.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but
Anyways, so that I would ask them if they know anything about that.
side tangent that we got on, but anyway, I guess that's what we're talking about next week now. But anyway,
Have fun, Kev.
I don't know. I have a feeling that what I just heard about for asking the aliens or telling the aliens or showing the aliens, I have a feeling that we're doomed because they would just see Jersey Shore and TikTok and think, oh, we can easily wipe out this race of individual beings, no problem, and we can just take over this planet, no problem. Yeah. We're just gonna take this and we're done. Yeah, easy.
Ooh, Tiger King would be a good one to show them. Yeah. I'm now thinking like a bunch of things that would be
Wow.
really fun to show other.
I forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
He fell off a cliff.
Yeah, that was one of
Mm-hmm.
those pandemic things that just kind of like it was like a flash in the pan during the pandemic, and then it just
Mm-hmm.
went away. I feel like
Yeah. Karsh, did
Yeah.
you ever watch that Tiger
N-
King?
no.
I didn't
Oh
either.
my
Mm-mm.
Karsh,
God, that's
don't.
another thing to add to your list.
I didn't either, and I don't want to ever. So don't. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I
No, it's so wildly, tragically dumb and good.
which is why I don't
Okay.
ever want to watch it.
hmm
Tiger King
Harsh,
added.
don't add that to your list.
Yeah,
Stick to
don't.
The Office and then
Yeah.
Parks and Rec, and
No,
then
it's good. Watch The Office in Parks and Rec and The X-Files first, but then
Okay.
eventually get to that when you're bored.
Okay.
Anyway,
Added.
Nathan, what is your conspiracy theory for Area
a little bit of a
51?
sidetrack there.
Sorry.
Kev, you're supposed to cut her off when she does this. As the moderator. All right, so every year after football season, I get rehooked on this guy Bob Lazar.
I've heard that
So I don't
name
know.
before.
So he's a little bit lesser known. He's much more known now that he did a big interview on Joe Rogan's podcast in 2019. And he's done a couple different interviews since then, but Joe Rogan is by far the biggest platform. And there's actually a movie out about him now. Bob Lazar, I think it's Area 51 and Flying Saucers is what the movie is called.
Okay.
So there's a movie out on it now, which isn't good because anytime money or movie or anything like that gets tied to something, then I don't know. It always seems like a Ponzi scheme or a money grab. But so this guy Bob Lazar in the 80s, he claims to have attached a jet engine to a 1980 Honda. And he was a science professor and teacher, and I'm going to forget the university name, the campus name. But he would drive a jet engine propelled Honda to class every day to teach. And at a certain point, a U.S. agent with presumably the CIA picked up on it because it made headlines. It was in the local newspaper. Local teacher attaches jet engine to Honda and drives to school. So the U.S., the federal government, the feds obviously caught onto this. And at the time, this is what Bob Lazar claims, is that they were looking for someone to reverse engineer technology that we don't understand because it is not ours. So again, I'm no scientist. I'm no physics teacher, professor. So I'm not going to be able to explain the science of what he's reverse engineering like he would, or maybe Karsh would, because Karsh is a pretty good engineer. But essentially, what it is a never-ending fuel source. So this is at Let me go back a little bit. So this is at Area 51, 15 miles south. They call it S4. So he claims is where he's working. He gets this job because he meets a famous scientist who is also recruiting for this program that the feds are trying to recruit for. It's obviously top secret of the most top secret institutions out there. There's a lot of vetting. With the security check, they ping your phones. Back in the day, they tap them. You can't tell anybody, not even your wife. Quick tidbit before I get into this: his wife actually thought he was having an affair. Because for multiple years he was leaving at random times in the night because the government calls you and tells you to report to work to go reverse engineer this technology, and you can't tell anyone about it. So his friends don't know, his wife doesn't know. His wife thought he was in an affair, so she entered an affair with her flight instructor, and they got divorced in the middle of this. It was at that point he got kicked out of the program, but. So 15 miles south of Area 51 is S4. He is working with one other scientist. So they've got groups of scientists that are working on different parts of this aircraft, and they don't know what the other parts are. So they are trying to reverse engineer one piece of a puzzle. He talks about how you almost shoot yourself in the foot because they're so top secret. Like they are working on the power source for this flying saucer, whatever it is. Other parts of other little two-man science teams are working on the frame, I don't know, I'm not a scientist, whatever else you would work on with the flying saucer.
Yeah.
But their job is to reverse engineer the power source, and they can't. They literally can't. Like it is nothing he's ever seen before. It's nothing anyone's ever seen before. They don't understand it. They say They say it warps time space around the aircraft, and it's a never-ending power source. So he claims it runs off of element 115, which is a stable isotope that wasn't on the chemical or the periodic table in 1980. They had no idea what it was. He claims it was element 115, which circa 2016, scientists discovered an element 115, and it was added to the periodic table. So he claims that's the power source in 1980. It wasn't even a thing. 2016, skip forward, scientists found it, and it's a thing now. It's on the periodic table. But so they're trying to reverse engineer this power source. They can't. Eventually, the feds who are running the program find out his wife is divorcing him. So they kick him out of the program. They don't tell him. They tell him to leave the program. They approach him about leaving the program, but they don't tell him because they've tapped his phones and his wife's phone. So they know his wife is cheating on him with her flight instructor, but he doesn't. So he doesn't know why he's been kicked out of the program. He takes some of his buddies up on a cliff that overlooks. Apparently, they did at some point. They did a land grab around Area 51. So Area 51 was smaller, and there was a cliff where he knew where they did flight tests where you could overlook that the security didn't know about, or whoever runs Area 51 didn't know about. So he took his buddies in a mobile home to this cliff to show them these flight tests they do. Because every once in a while, very periodically, they would do flight tests because it would help them try and reverse engineer this power source, this never-ending power source that doesn't put off any nuclear reactivity. There's no byproduct. It doesn't create heat. It's perfectly efficient. So like anything, Karsh could help me out with this. Anything that creates power creates heat. Nothing operates with 100% efficiency, except for this power source. It operates with absolute 100% efficiency. What do they call it? Where you can see the machine where you can see heat coming off like an engine or something. What?
Thermal.
Yeah.
Thermal
Yeah.
reader,
So they do thermal imaging on this power source because they know how to turn it on. There is no heat coming off of it, so it operates with 100% efficiency. It's never-ending fuel source. But they do flight tests. So they let them see the aircraft, this saucer, and they do flight tests. So Bob Lazar knows where they do the flight test. He knows there's a cliff that overlooks it. He's been kicked out of the program. To verify his story, he brings 4 of his buddies. They set up in a mobile home overlooking the flight tests, and they watch the flight tests. And supposedly, I haven't seen it, but supposedly they took a big chunky 1980s video recorder and video recorded it, these flight tests happening, because they say it's, again, so it warps the space-time continuum around the craft. So like it modifies or adds gravity around the craft, because they say when you look up at the bottom underneath the aircraft when it is hovering, you can't see the aircraft. So like instead of looking up and seeing the bottom of the aircraft, you can't see it because gravity had warped around it. That's why they think these aircrafts can move so fast in the blink of an eye, is because they modify or add gravity, which we cannot do. Once you control gravity, you can do almost anything. We can't do it. Obviously, humans can't do it. So that's how they claim that these UFOs, Kevin, the one you were talking about, the Tic Tac saucer, the one that looks like a pill that was flying around, they jump around like that in the videos. They say they can do that because they modify or add gravity from these power sources. So they get it on video, 1980s. The video isn't the best, they say. I haven't ever watched it. But this guy comes out with his story because he thinks the CIA is going to kill him. He thinks because he was kicked out of the program, because he took his friends up on that cliff to verify his story, to show them what he's been working on for the past few years, to show them that he's not been having an affair. He takes his friends up there, and he thinks the CIA is going to kill him because he went to his friends with it, and eventually goes to the public about it. He finds an investigative journalist out of New York, or not New York, out of somewhere. But he finds an investigative journalist, George Knapp, and then eventually everything goes public. And I think that the draw is that essentially we're talking about something that we can't really even comprehend, right? So we were talking about Roswell, and we were talking about how for a small town 1940s rancher, that whatever the debris was, whatever it came from, looked magic, looked alien. And we think right now that there's like we try and picture where we go from here. Like we've got iPhones, we've got iPads, we've got giant TVs, we've got self-driving cars, but we try and picture where we go from here. And this is where we go from here. Never-ending clean energy that has no byproduct. And Bob Lazar's story is fascinating because he claims that we're already trying to figure out how it works. We've already got it. It's in Area 51, 15 miles south of Area 51, and he claims we've already got it. But that's the draw, is that we try and picture where we go from here, and Bob Lazar is that story. It's that story of where we go from here.
It's interesting.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I like how you recapped that at the end of where we go from here, and I am sure that there are many people working on the technology. Now, I have issues with Bob Lazar, and I have for a while, and I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So I've seen his Joe Rogan interview and everything, and I'm not saying that it wasn't maybe, somehow part of this or did work on some things, but he himself is a little sketch. So he has been arrested for like aiding and abetting a prostitution ring, selling chemicals and drugs across state lines. Like in the past, his personal history has not been that great. Also,
Allegedly.
people were saying well, no, he was arrested and charged with multiple felonies for different things, but
Can I clarify something? So this is all post him going public about this. So like he went public in the 90s, like that the illegal chemical selling across state lines and all that you're talking about was in 2012 or 2016. That is well after he went public with this
2003 was the first raid on his chemical sales and everything. So I'm not saying that this discredits him. I'm saying that either something's weird, either someone is really trying hard to discredit him, or he has lied about a lot of things in the past. But so I don't disagree about the future of technology and everything that you said, because I think it's fascinating, and the energy sources and everything. It's just that I don't know how to feel about Bob Lazar is what I'm trying to say, because you don't know if he truly did lie about his education, his work history. He was charged with multiple felonies. Did someone just really try hard to frame him for things? Or is he just kind of a sketchy dude? I don't know. But what he says about technology and everything else, I'm not discrediting that. It is fascinating. Just him himself, I'm like, I don't know how to feel about him.
Well, that's the thing. You say people trying to discredit him. He's actually not a living person because he no longer has a birth certificate. It's been scrubbed. Like he doesn't own one anymore. It's been deleted. He claims to have degrees from Caltech and MIT. Like there is no documentation that he ever went there. He claims to have worked at Los Alamos Research in Nevada. Like there's no documentation he ever worked there. Obviously, I don't think you could ever get documentation that someone worked at Area 51. I don't know if that'd be possible or not, but no documentation he ever worked there. So like apparently he's not even a living, breathing human being because he doesn't even have a birth certificate at this point. Like they're
and that's why people go back and forth on him, and I don't know what to believe. But but that doesn't discredit technology and science and everything else interesting that you just talked about.
The biggest question, you said, where do we go from here? And this is going to be my question, is if they do have that technology, they've been working on it since the 1980s. Let's take it away from Bob Lazar and however you feel about him. Let's just take it away from that. If they have had this technology since the 40s, and say it was in a Roswell crash or whatever, and they've been working on it since then, do you think that the government would be willing to use it as a source of energy for energy's sake? Or is it just going to be held back to be used for a military purpose or hidden away in case they need it for something like that? Is it going to be used to better society or is it going to be hidden away so that it can't be used, basically?
My take on sorry, go ahead, Karsh. You're the
No, you're good.
guest. I just say
You're
stupid
good.
things.
It's it's gonna come out at some point. It one way or the other. If it doesn't, if this is only one thing, this happened, the crash might happen tomorrow. Someone else will find it, and then it'll be out. It's gonna happen. It's not gonna be hidden forever. I think what the other thing is, there this technology, and there's a lot of things that is not disclosed to everyone, to the public, because it creates panic.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah.
Because there's something which is not controllable, it always creates panic.
I agree with
And
that.
it would always not end well. So, like AI or anything, like, it's or like internet, like dot-com bubble, like once there was panic, it's like, like everything crashed and everyone was in a panic. So we don't know what's going to happen next. So I think that's what they were trying to control.
Oh, I agree with that, but
Yeah.
you say that somebody will come out with it, or
Yeah.
if it crash, another one will crash. Again, haven't heard of any other crashes since the 1940s. Like, it's been
Right.
almost 100 years, and I haven't heard of a single other crash. So,
My take has to deal with more with profit.
Yeah.
The governments of the world still profit off of traditional energy sources.
Yeah.
Until billionaires can come up with a way to profit off of it, are we going to see it mass reproduced? Not unless someone brings it to the free market and
Right.
somehow is able to do that. I think
don't
it's
know
more
how
of a
you can.
profit
I don't know
thing.
how you can
Like the
profit off of
establishment.
I don't know how you can profit off of an endless energy source.
Well, exactly. Why would we be trying and fighting wars over oil still if, it just, that's my thinking on that side of things,
Right.
is someone has to bring it to the free market.
Mm-hmm.
But
I guess the best comp might be nuclear energy, because at one point nuclear energy, we used it for warfare. Like, our government used it for warfare at first. We have the nuclear bomb, we have the atomic bombs, we have nuclear submarines, but also, like, we have nuclear power plants at this point. Now, you're exactly right. Like, someone profits off of that, like
Mhm.
whoever's mining the uranium, selling uranium, whatever. But at some point, it can be used for both. Like, once we've mastered the warfare aspect first, then we can give it to the public.
yeah, but
Mhm.
it's not. But nuclear energy isn't endless. Are you having fun back there?
Well-
I see the. I, I see the drone behind Karsh flying in the air.
Wait, what?
I see the drone behind Karsh flying in the air.
That's funny.
Don't worry, guys. It's just a drone. There's no UFO.
Is that a UFO?
It's a weather balloon.
It's a weather balloon.
Oh man.
That's funny.
Yeah, the only thing about nuclear though is that it is profitable because it is not endless. Like, you have to keep
Right.
generating it.
Right.
Whereas this, like you said, it is 100% efficient and there is no end to it. It is supposedly endless free energy because it doesn't stop. So there's no, like, whereas there is with nuclear, there is a certain amount of generating and dealing with it. Like, there is a way to make a profit on it because you have to actually deal with it and there is stuff that you have to do to keep it running and make money on it. So there is a difference. There is something
Our
to make
whole
profit on.
system would have to collapse
Mm-hmm.
or modify in some way for technology like this to be readily available without someone profiting off of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's not. Our system didn't collapse because of pedophiles, so maybe an endless free energy source would.
Very possible. You never know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nick, do you have any?
Kevin, you can tell Nathan and I send Instagram reels back and forth to each other. We've talked about the collapse of the system. But no, the only other thing I totally forgot. This is very important knowledge for you all. So there was Travis Walton was a now debunked alien abductee from 1975. and he was on the Kardashians for an episode. So, Karsh, if you want another really good TV show to add, the Kardashians.
Don't do it.
There is an alien episode.
Of
Oh,
course, we're
okay.
gonna
I'll watch
sidebar
it.
after this.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
unacceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't add that to your list.
No.
No.
Okay,
The
good.
other ones are more important. I just forgot that I had watched that the other day.
What's that alien episode, at least?
There you go. You
It
can
was
watch
like
the one.
season 8, episode like 9 or something. I can send it to you, but they go
Okay.
on a camping trip around Area 51, and so they like set up this meet and greet with this alien abductee that is now widely debunked.
The, Karsh, the only alien is Kim after her 97th plastic surgery.
Right.
Okay. I think that means it's time for facts. Oh. Okay. Nathan, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right. So, in light of technology and newfound power sources, lithium is the lightest metal on Earth and supposedly can float on water. So, as where everything else would sink, lithium would float.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I didn't know that.
Now you know.
Knowledge is power. Karsh, what do you have for a fact?
In New Mexico, Roswell talked about now it's a multi-billion-dollar industry about selling toys to goodies to making movies to sci-fi to that city making what we say having annual events of like a UFO day and them having like theme parks and shops and everything, like, you know, just something, a theory like which is not maybe true, maybe not. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry today.
Yeah. It's a tourist trap at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah. Pretty much. Nick?
Mhm.
Okay, mine's about the X-Files TV show because Karsh needs to watch it. This is actually a
Yeah.
good one. It's not like the Kardashians. So 2 things. The theme song, which is, Karsh, you might recognize the theme song when you hear it because it's on a bunch of like TikToks and Instagram reels and things.
Okay.
But it was actually partially an accident when the composer rested his forearm on a keyboard while using an echo riff, or while using the echo effect, creating the famous riff that we hear like lots of videos using nowadays. But then also the character of Dana Scully. So, Karsh, in the show, Dana is a scientist, a forensic pathologist.
Okay.
So, in the early 2000s, it is attributed that characters like Dana Scully inspired a 20% surge of women entering STEM fields. So, it's called the Scully effect.
Yeah. Scully and Mulder. There you go.
Interesting.
That's cool. So, mine kind of goes back to the UFOs. In a poll in 2019, YouGov found that 54% of U.S. adults think the government knows more than it's telling about UFOs. So people don't believe the government when it comes to UFOs, or as the government now calls them, UAPs. I don't know why we needed to change.
I think just because of the
them.
connotation of the word.
I mean, it's the same thing though. It's the I still
Yeah,
call
but
them
when you say
UFOs.
UAP, it sounds more official. When you say UFO, my mind goes straight to alien conspiracies, government, alien Area 51. Like there's a connotation with that. So I think they just changed the language.
Yeah, I mean, but everybody knows what a UFO is. Nobody knows what a UAP is. Like that's also when you say it's you just changed the acronym to change the word. You're saying the same thing but with different words, because UAP is just unidentified aerial
Aerial
phenomenon
phenomena.
instead of unidentified flying object. Like it's the same, basically the same thing, just with a little bit different words.
It's just a rebranding.
Yeah, which is like
for marketing.
Yeah, why are we rebranding UFOs to be something else? Like I don't really get it. But anyway, yeah, I think that's it for this week, folks. Did you guys?
This was fun. Thanks, Karsh. Thanks, Nathan. It's always really fun to have you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thanks for having us. Hey, maybe sometimes the biggest mysteries aren't in the sky. It's probably how we respond to things we don't understand.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah. I like
Did you plan that?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like it,
I was
dude.
gonna say
I like
that
the
sounded like a
touch.
really good ending.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, everybody. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and we will talk to you guys next week.